Hey everybody, Mr. Antonucci here, and in this video, we're diving into the 2025 AP Stats free response questions. Whether you've already taken the test and want to see how you did, or you're prepping for next year, this walkthrough is for you. We're going to talk through some of the key concepts, some strategies, some common mistakes, and most importantly, solve the problem for you. Question number 2. This was a solid question on sampling methods. Here's where a farmer wants to estimate the proportion of cabbage plants damaged by aphids. In part A, this challenged you to critique method 1 of the sampling method. B made you consider bias in selecting row E, which was closest to the river. And part C asked for a description of how to implement a stratified type sample. So here we go with the solution. Part A, explain whether the sampling method 1 is an appropriate sampling method for the farmer to use to estimate the proportion of cabbage plants in the field that are damaged by aphids. So here's how we would answer part A. Method 1 is not an appropriate sampling method because it does not represent the whole field. Since the farmer supposes that plants closer to the river would have greater damage, if the farmer only selects plants that are close to the house, he's likely to underestimate the true proportion of cabbage plants in the field that are damaged by aphids. Now, part B, using sampling method 2, the farmer randomly selects row E and examined every cabbage plant in row E. If the farmer's belief is correct, determine whether the selection of row E is likely to provide an overestimate or an underestimate of the proportion of cabbage plants in the field that are damaged by aphids. Justify your answer. So here's what we had. Method 2 is likely to overestimate the true proportion of all cabbage plants in the field damaged by aphids. Since the farmer's belief is correct and plants closer to the river have more damage from aphids, selecting row E, which is closest to the river, will produce an overestimate. Now for part C, using the information provided in the diagram of the cabbage field, describe how to implement sampling method 3, which requires random selection of one region from each of the rows in A, B, C, D, and E. So this is a stratified type sample where each row is the strata, and then we're going to randomly select one plot within each row. Basically, you have to make sure that you cover a couple things. First, we're going to use a random number generator to get a number between 1 and 5 to randomly select a plot in row A. Then you would go to that plot and inspect every cabbage plant in that plot. Then you would repeat that process for row B, which would be numbers 6 to 10, row C, which is 11 to 15, row D, 16 to 20, and row E for 20 to 25. Then for all the plants inspected, you would record the proportion of plants that were damaged by the aphids. So the thing you have to do is then write all of that out. So I'll put that below. So here we have the answer for part C. So that's it for number 2. Now, overall, the 2025 FRQs hit all the big ideas, comparing distributions, experimental design, probability, inference, and communication. So let me know in the comments which question you found the toughest or the most interesting. And make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos that I'm putting out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.